What is the theme of India's Independence Day 2025 celebrated on 15th August? Correct option is B. Naya Bharat. Which edition of Independence Day was celebrated on 15th August 2025? Right option is D. 79th edition. When was International Youth Day observed recently? Correct option is B. On 12th August. National Handloom Day is celebrated every year on which date? Right option is A. On 7th August. When is International Tiger Day observed every year? Correct option is D. On 29 July. On which date is World Nature Conservation Day observed? Correct option is A. On 28th July. National Flag Day celebrated every year on which date in India? Correct option is D. On 22nd July. World Youth Skills Day is observed every year on. Correct option is B. On 15th July. On which date is World Population Day observed worldwide? Correct option is C. On 11th July. When is GST Day observed in India every year? Correct option is A. On 1st July. When is National Doctors Day observed annually in India? Correct option is D. On 1st July. On which date is International Olympic Day observed every year? Correct option is C. On 23rd June. When is World Rainforest Day observed every year? Correct option is B. On 22nd June. When is International Yoga Day celebrated every year? Correct option is B. On 21st June. World Blood Donor Day is observed every year on which date? Correct option is A. On 14th June. World Oceans Day is observed every year on. Correct option is D. On 8th June. On which date is World Environment Day celebrated every year? Correct option is C. On 5th June. When is Telangana Formation Day celebrated? Correct option is A. On 2nd June. When is World No Tobacco Day observed every year? Correct option is A. On 31st May. On which date is National Anti-Terrorism Day observed every year in India? Correct option is B. On 21st May. On which date is International Museum Day observed recently? Correct option is B. On 18th May. When is National Endangered Species Day observed in 2025? Correct option is D. On 16th May. National Dengue Day observed every year on. Correct option is A. On 16th May. When is International Nurses Day observed every year? Correct option is C. On 12th May. On which date is National Technology Day observed every year? Correct option is B. On 11th May. Rabindranath Tagore Jayanti is celebrated every year on which date? Correct option is A. On 7th May. World Press Freedom Day is celebrated every year on which date? Correct option is C. On 3rd May. When was 65th Maharashtra and Gujarat Foundation Day observed? Correct option is A. On 1st May. World Malaria Day is observed every year on which date? Correct option is B. On 25th April. When is World Intellectual Property Day observed? Correct option is A. On 26th April. When is World Penguin Day observed every year? Correct option is C. On 25th April. World Book Day observed every year on which date? Correct option is A. On 23rd April. When is World Earth Day observed every year? Correct option is D. On 22nd April. When was World Heritage Day observed recently? Correct option is C, 18th April. On which day is Ambedkar Jayanti celebrated in India? Correct option is A, on 14th April. When is World Homeopathy Day observed every year? Correct option is A, on 10th April. World Health Day is celebrated on which date? Correct option is B, on 7th April. When is National Maritime Day celebrated in India? Correct option is C, on 5th April. On which date is Odisha Foundation Day celebrated? Correct option is A, on 1st April. When is World TB Day observed? Correct option is C, on 24th March. When is Bihar Foundation Day celebrated every year? Correct option is C, on 22nd March. World Water Day is observed globally on which date? Correct option is B, on 22nd March. When is World Poetry Day observed every year? Correct option is B, on 21st March. World Sparrow Day is observed on which date? Correct option is A, on 20th March. When is the International Day of Happiness celebrated? Correct option is B, on 20th March. When is National Vaccination Day observed in India? Correct option is D, on 16th March. World Consumer Rights Day is observed on which date? Correct option is C, on 15th March. When is Pi Day celebrated annually? Correct option is A, on 14th March. When is International Women's Day celebrated? Correct option is B, on 8th March. On which date is National Safety Day observed in India? Correct option is D, on 4th March. When is World Wildlife Day observed every year? Correct option is C, on 3rd March. On which date is National Science Day celebrated in India? Correct option is A, on 28th February. When is International Mother Language Day observed? Correct option is D, on 21st February. Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh Foundation Day is celebrated on which date? Correct option is A, on 20th February. When is World Cancer Day observed? Correct option is B, on 4th February. When is World Wetlands Day observed? Correct option is C, on 2nd February. Uttar Pradesh Day is celebrated every year on which date? Correct option is B, on 24th January. On which date is India Newspaper Day celebrated every year? Correct option is A, on 29 January. When was 76th Republic Day celebrated in India? Correct option is C, on 26th January. National Tourism Day was observed on which date? Correct option is B, on 25th January. When is National Voters Day observed every year? Correct option is B, on 25th January. On which date is Tripura, Manipur and Meghalaya Foundation Day celebrated? Correct option is D, on 21st January. When is Indian Army Day observed every year? Correct option is C, on 15th January. When is National Youth Day celebrated in India? Correct option is A, on 12th January. World Hindi Day is celebrated on which date? Correct option is C, on 10th January.